Now we're ready to do part 2 of diagramming linking verbs, and you definitely need to have watched part 1 first. Let's look at the first sentence in this section. As before, we need to first look for any prepositional phrases, and we have one. After college is a prepositional phrase, and we'll get rid of it. Then we need to look for either an action or a linking verb. And our verb is became. Who or what became? Friend. One subject, one verb. So our diagram goes like this. Friend became whom or what. And this is where we have to, if we get an answer, which we did, nurse, we have to decide if it's a direct object or a predicate nominative. And the way you do that is to say, okay, this is the word we found. Is it another name for our subject within this sentence? And it's like, yes, it is. If the answer had been no, we have a direct object. But became is kind of like an equal sign for the future. This became this other thing. So we have a predicate nominative. Our line slants back, and we have nurse. So we have a predicate nominative sentence pattern, and we have her, capital H, was capitalized. Do we have a very friend? No, that has no meaning. But we do have, it's a best friend. So best is an adjective. And her tells which one, which nurse, and what kind of nurse? Nice. And this is the subject linking verb predicate nominative pattern. All right, let's try another one. All right, with this one, we have I like nurses. We will have a check for prepositional phrases, and we don't have any. We'll look for the verb. The verb is like. Who or what like? I like. I have a pronoun subject. All right, so I have I like. I like whom or what? I get an answer. It's nurses. Is nurses another name for I? It's like, no, it's not. I'm not saying I'm a nurse. So that is just a direct object like we learned originally. And what kind of nurses do I like? Nice. All right, and that told me I just have the subject verb direct object pattern. Okay? Now we have nurses are very helpful to patients. All right, let's find a verb, and are is always a verb. Let's change color here. Who or what are? Nurses are. All right, let's do a baseline. And we have capital N. Nurses are whom or what? We get an answer, helpful. Now be careful here. Is helpful another name for nurses? And it's like, no, it's not a name for them. And then we ask ourselves a different question. Does it describe nurses? And here the answer is yes. And we slant the line just as before. Helpful goes here. And this is still like an equal sign, but this is an adjective. So what we have here, and by the way, two patients was a prep. So what we have here is called a predicate adjective. So the slanted line and then a word, that word can be either an adjective, a noun, or a pronoun. So it can be, I better put that here, it can be an adjective, a pronoun, or a noun. Okay, and a predicate adjective will describe the subject, and it's the subject linking verb predicate adjective pattern, and it doesn't just describe the pattern, there's a linking verb always between the subject and the uh, predicate adjective. Okay, I want to show you just two more, just so you're not getting these all confused. If I said, Susie likes cookies, well, cookies is not another name for Susie. It does not describe Susie. This is just a direct object. So it's just going to look like this. All right? If I said Susie is a girl, well, girl is a noun. All right? This is a linking verb. It's like an equal sign. All right? So this is going to be like this. And this is a predicate nominative over here because girl is a noun and it's another name for Susie. If I said Susie is smart. Now notice this is the same verb, still a linking verb, but this is an adjective and it is describing Susie. So the diagram is the same, but this is a predicate adjective over here. And hopefully this shows you the characteristics of each of these particular labels.